Hello, everybody. Welcome to Candidates Corner. This is Greater Seattle Korean Association's interviews with candidates and also our current electeds. And we do this because, we were the recipient of the King County Voter Education Fund grant recently. And our goal here is really just to inform and educate voters on like who really are our candidates, just get to know them more about them more personally, and also about their platform. And so today, we're continuing our school board series, and we're very pleased and excited to have Laura Marie Riviera here with us. Hello, Laura.
Hi.
Welcome. And Laura is currently running for Seattle School Board position 4. Now, we'll have Laura just speak about her vision for Seattle schools, but just to confirm, for Seattle schools, even though there's different positions, it's relative to all of Seattle. That's correct?
That's correct. In
Okay.
the primary, we run based on our position and our current district. And in the general, all of the city votes for all 4 of the seats that are on the ballot. So please do remember to vote all the way down your ballot.
Amazing, amazing. So again, it doesn't matter where you live. It's applicable for all of Seattle. So before we have Laura just share some of her vision, just a reminder again, this is not an endorsement, but rather just to get to know our candidates and just who they are as a person. And so, Laura, we wanted to ask, could you just perhaps tell us about your background, personal and professional, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'm Dr. Laura Marie Rivera, and first and foremost, I am a mom. I am the mom of 4 Seattle Public School students, and I have 2 recent graduates, and I have twins that are in 5th grade right now. And when I consider the mother's role and the mother's lens in what we do with caring for, educating, and really bringing our children out in the world, this is what I bring to the leadership table. And my professional experience includes decades of work as an educator. I've taught from pre-K all the way through 12th and even up at University of Washington. And so I run the gamut between public schools and private schools and very non-traditional arts and tech programs as well. So when we talk about educator experience, of the 4 positions on the ballot, I am the only candidate with direct classroom experience. So it makes a real difference between understanding the policies that look good on paper and the policies that actually work in the classroom.
That's very interesting to learn that, Dr. Rivera. So you're the only one with actually professional teaching
Yes.
experience. Great, great. Well, first of all, thank you for your years of teaching for our next generation. We wanted to also ask, being in Seattle schools and also as a teacher as well, we're sort of fortunate in the Seattle area that we can celebrate our diversity.
Yes.
So it's very diverse here, regardless of background or ethnicity, and so it's in that we celebrate. So sort of in your years of teaching and perhaps as your vision, if elected to school board, how do you plan and hope to continue to empower our AANHPI as well as maybe communities of colors students? Yeah, yeah.
So that is a wonderful thing about Seattle is our very diverse student population and looking at the gifts that each of those kids brings to our classrooms. As an educator, it's so important that we keep in mind the identities of our children, but not only that, what are their strengths, what are their challenges, what are their hopes, and what are their dreams? Because each individual student comes with their own identity, cultural and otherwise, and we need to make sure that we are responsive to that in our classrooms. And so I want to make sure that the teachers are empowered to make decisions and to help address issues that their children have and get them to the proper tools that they need for a quality education going forward.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Rivera. There was also, we asked the audience what are some questions that perhaps you would like to ask Dr. Rivera? And so we kind of vetted a couple of those. So I'll just read one if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah. You emphasize the importance of well-rounded education. How would you prioritize arts, technical training, dual language immersion alongside core academics to better prepare students for college and further?
So
Yeah.
thank you so much for asking that because When we talk about education, and so often it gets overlooked, and especially these school board races that some people don't even realize are on the ballot. So when we're looking at a well-rounded student, I like to remind people that we literally have the future of our society sitting in our classrooms right now. And what is it that we want these students to have? What is it that we want them to see? And what do we want them to know as they go forward? And whether that is exposing them to the arts, whether that is making sure they have access to advanced math, whether that is technical training, whether that is special education supports, all of these things need to be part of every student's classroom experience. And we also have to keep in mind too, their different strengths and challenges. And you mentioned their life after graduation and college, but there are so many paths that our students should pursue. So we need to make sure that we're opening up those trade options for them. We need to make sure that we're opening up art school. We need to make sure that we're opening up whatever it is that student wants to pursue and making sure that they have the skills in order to do it.
Okay, great. I'll read one more from the
Sure.
audience. Yeah, sure. With rising concerns around student mental health, how would you strengthen wellness supports across Seattle schools? And if that's important, especially with students furthest from educational justice. And this one hit particularly home for me because I'm a student of mental health. I'm studying for my behavioral therapy degree. And so, yes, we'd just love to hear some of your thoughts about that.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
And it is so important that we think about it and that we talk about it. Last year, the Seattle Public Schools we are facing budget issues, but last year they were considering closing a lot of schools. And when they were putting that list together, I'm not sure they were always thinking about exactly how it's going to affect our community. And so they embarked on their Well-Resourced Schools tour, which is an amazing concept and an amazing title. And yes, we want to have well-resourced schools. But what they were actually saying is they were going to continue doing the same thing that they were doing, but with less students or in less places. And I have a problem with that. And if you look at the staffing of our schools, it is very difficult for our professionals to maintain everything that a child needs in school. Right now, we're looking at schools that have 0.2 of a nurse or half of a librarian or a part-time counselor or a part-time vice principal. And these are all very important community members in our school. And a 0.2 of a person shouldn't be a real thing. These are things that our students need, and they're definitely what I would consider part of a well-resourced school. And these are things that we need to prioritize because our children, as again, they come with all their different strengths and challenges, but when they come to school hungry or having trouble at home or having trouble accessing the information because they have an undiagnosed disability, we need someone that is there to help them, help define what the problem is, and help them get to the solution that they need. So I absolutely prioritize our mental health supports and all of the other supports that our students need for a good education.
Well, thank you so much. And coming
Thank
from
you.
a future mental health therapist, very appreciative of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll ask this question kind of not from the audience, but we've selected it from my brain. But I'm very curious to know, as an educator, you worked with young people your whole life, most of your life. And what would you say to, like, for example, my son, Justin, has grown an interest into civic engagement. And it's like, wow, I've done something right,
Yes.
So I'm trying to encourage that, which is great. And he's going to be going to your town hall and candidate forum
Wonderful.
tonight. Yeah, so I'm sure he'll have a lot of questions for you maybe afterward. But what would you say to, let's say, an aspiring student as to why? Why should we get involved in civic engagement? Why should we?
Yes.
Yeah, and why is, we're coming up here on November 4th pretty soon, our general
Very
elections.
soon.
Yeah. Why is it important to vote? What would you say to that young person? Yeah. Within the few minutes that we got.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
it is so important.
Yeah.
And we hear people talk about it. And when I think about the importance of voting, a lot of people are very disheartened with our current situation. And I feel that too. And it is important to think about we are each one person and we can each make that little bit of a difference. And whether I'm talking about my vote, whether I'm talking about a forum like this, or even the people that are watching this program, it's learning a little bit more about the system, about the candidates, about what we can and cannot do, and getting involved. And of course, remembering to vote, of course, remembering to vote all the way down the ballot, because each of these little pieces, it's like a drop in the bucket and it comes together. And hopefully we are working toward that more just society and maybe that more perfect union that was aimed for in our Constitution.
Yeah, I really appreciate what you said, Dr. Rivera, because, these days, for example, like if I could name one, Dave Updegrove's election was razor thin.
Yes, it
I think it
was.
was a matter of like a double-digit vote
It
count.
was.
Yeah, and so your vote does matter. Your vote does matter.
It does. And if I can add to that, I'm learning all the time. And one of the things I learned from Dave Updegrove's in the primary, of course, Washington has the system where the top two vote getters advance to the general. And it is nonpartisan, so it could be two of the same party or it could be one of each. And this particular year, we had a lot of candidates in the field and a lot of good candidates, except we almost didn't have a Democratic candidate advancing to Commissioner of Public Lands. And that vote was so close. And Dave Updegrove reached out to his network and asked for volunteers to come and observe that recount to help. And that was something that I spent the day doing down the road at King County Elections.
Oh, okay.
And it was the most interesting, boring day I have ever had. And what I learned is how secure our election system is. And I got to watch the recount and all of the safeguards in place and to really see how that happens.
Interesting.
And what you may not know, or some people may not know, is that anyone can go and do that. And I will further that to say that anyone can volunteer for their favorite candidate. Anyone can send an email saying, these are the candidates I support and this is why. And just reminding our neighbors and friends to vote and to get involved, because those little pieces can make all the difference.
Amazing. Well said, Dr. Rivera. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for listening in. Again, this is Laura Marie, Dr. Laura Marie Rivera, and she's running for school board, Seattle School Board's position 4. And so thank you again for coming on and for just sharing your thoughts and for your vision. And maybe do you have a website you'd like to show, or maybe some key endorsements? Yeah. So,
I have an amazing list of endorsements, and each one of them tells a story. I will just tell you my favorite two from Seattle Education Association, the educators that are doing the work, and the top educator in the state, our superintendent. And there are so many other endorsements on my website at votelaurammarie.com, and I am proud of every single one, and I will happily tell you the story. Or I'd invite people to reach out and ask me either through the website, at an event, or through social media, and I'd be happy to answer.
All right, amazing. Finally, Dr. Rivera, let's say your students are out there from before and they see you where you are at now, and would you like to give a word of encouragement to them as to why they should get involved and for their future?
I would say hello again, and I'm so happy to see you, and I'm really proud that you are involved enough to be watching this and to be engaged and be a part of the solution. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Rivera.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.